Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Armory Digital Super Speedway, this time for the NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series, as we prepare for 48 laps of action in what is the final race of the regular season. I am joined once again by Vince Freeze.
Welcome to Armory Digital, where it's do or die for these Cup Series drivers. We saw a wild yet strategic-filled truck race. But what can we see in the daytime here at Armory Digital?
Well, one thing's for sure, it'll definitely be a two-stop race here for the Cup drivers as they gear up for 48 laps of racing, not 39. Let's get to your starting top 10. Alexander Rowe and Jose Mills on the front row. Row 2, Matthew Logan and Nate Rogers. Row 3, Tyler Markle and Charles Sanford. Row 4 is Kev Shearer and Wes McCoy. And in row 5 are the Toledo brothers, LJ and Jeff. Now to the playoffs. Locked into the playoffs coming into today. Points leaders, Samet Oskin, Alex Gray, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Tyler Fink, Priya McShane, Alexander Rowe, Seth Cole, Matthew Logan, Quinton Moore, Ryan Brommer, who won last week at Island Rally, and Andrew Rich. So we have a total of 11 guys locked in out of the 16. That leaves 5 spots up for grabs. Your regular season championship battle coming in. Oskin has 19 points over Nate Rogers, 26 over Alex Gray. If Rogers does not win today, he will need to be the regular season points leader if he is to make the playoffs without a win. First, we'll go through the battle for 16th and up before we get to the whole top 30 watch. So Ace Rogers, 52 points to the good. Jonathan Zorlin, 47. James Shelley, 41. And Adam Flickinger, 15. As Jeff Toledo right now is in the playoffs with his 3 wins. He is not in that watch. Jessica Shelton's the first driver out, 15 points back. Dylan Young is 51 points back. He would more so need a second win to make it. And then Wes McCoy and Rob Evans are too far back to make it in with 1 win. They would have to win again here today. And that gets us to the top 30 watch. Adam Flickinger, 49 points above. Jeff Toledo, 47 with his 3 wins. So Jeff Toledo only having to worry about the top 30 watch. Shelton, 34 points to the good on the top 30. Dylan Young, 7 points out. That's why we think Dylan would be better off getting a second win. More definite for him to make it if he gets a second win today. Wes McCoy is 40 points back and Rob Evans is 47 back. So they're going to need a lot of things to fall their way and then win the race if they're going to make the playoffs this year. And then the following drivers still have a shot if they win today, and they are Nate Rogers, Jonny Gardner, Sebastian Kukalon, Austin Colano, Zach Rogers, Keith Rich, Nico Tringali, Tyler Marco, and Alex Ferranti, who are ahead of Adam Flickinger. The drivers behind Adam include Jose Mills, 6 points back, Sanford, 15, Turner, 26, Friesen, 44, Sekuli, 49, and Devers right at the very edge, 55 points out. Devers going to need to lead the most laps if he's going to make this thing. Out of range is Corey Williams, William Flickinger, Kev Shearer, Casey Nanico, Peter Onjak, Logan York, and LJ Toledo, as we get ready for the command to fire engines.
Drivers, start your engine!
So the command has been given. Quick race trends. 2017 race had no yellow flags. 2018 race, we saw yellows on lap 6 and lap 18. Practice was won by Alex Gray. He starts 21st. Happy hour went to LJ Toledo. He starts 9th. So we saw the wreck for the truck race on lap 1. Vince, could we see that happen here for the Cup Series cars as well?
I can see it. The other thing we have to look at is strategy. Obviously, we saw that fuel was a big factor. And with the Cup cars, right, they're not going to suck up as much as the trucks did with the big spoiler. So this will be more side-drafted and who can get those runs, especially on the top side. You mentioned in the earlier in the truck broadcast that top side run off of 2. That could be critical. And let's see what these points guys do. Right, some guys got to go for the points. Some guys got to lag back and play it safe, and some are just going all out for that punch win. So we'll see.
One of those drivers we mentioned, Nate Rogers, he could make the playoffs without a win, but he would need to be the regular season champion leaving today. Now, Oskin will lock it up if he finishes 5th or 6th and leads the most laps. That would be the key lockup position for the 22. And of course, that would be with Nate winning the race. So we'll see what happens there. Jonny Gardner, 2-time champion, comes in 6th in the points, but he doesn't have a win yet on 2020. Gardner's won multiple races every season of his career, 3 wins in 2017 and 2018, and 2 wins in 2019. He's also made the playoffs every year on top of making the Final Four every year. Could that change at the conclusion of today's race? We are green flag racing in Seattle, Washington.
Looking at 4 wide underneath Toledo. They fan back to 3rd.
And these cars do take longer to get up to speed too, so draft will be a huge thing the first lap or lap and a half. As LJ Toledo started 9th and he's already gunning for the top spot.
Bro using that top line with the help from Mills and Matthew Logan we saw in the truck race last night.
And we'll bring up the overlay to show you these speeds, about 180 into turn 3. We'll see these cars top out around 195 in draft due to the sunny weather and the temperatures. As LJ Toledo's looking to lead the first lap after starting 9th. He's one of the guys out of range. There's one of the guys who needs a lot of help. It's Rob Evans. And Evans led that lap, I think. No, he didn't. It went to Alexander Rowe. Scoring took a second there as Fitzwater's on the apron almost.
Torm looking to go 5 wide in some places.
Rob Evans mentioned it. Man's got to win this race. And then he needs a lot of other stuff to go his way. And we saw what happened in the truck race. Baran-Oscus, that win, it wasn't enough. She was a point short.
You need a lot of help. I think that's the key. You got to just win and hope for the help with the wreck in the back. That's the key. As
Evans and Ace Rogers fighting it out here for the lead. Evans will officially lead a lap.
Kev Shear on the bottom, looking for 3rd. 4 wide back there. Fitzwater.
As they race down the back straightaway, I was just marking that Evans led a lap there. Jonny Gardner, his teammates right in line behind them, didn't even notice him in those Valvoline colors this weekend. And so far, we're clean and green here in the daytime.
1933 almost getting some contests. Toledo and Gray.
So right now, the front lines are mostly even. And you see, there's that top line run. Vince.
Fitzwater, 4 wide.
Not as dramatic in the Cup Series cars, but it's still there.
Fitzwater on the apron going for the lead.
And Fitzwater getting help from Red Bull driver Nico Tringali, who hasn't won in 2020 either. 3 wins for Tringali last year and a Final Four appearance. The bottom, though, just checking up so much.
Jesse Turner's back there. Jose Mills, 4 wide. You got some 4 wide back from James Shell, guys see.
It looks like it's going to be tough to make your way through the pack today, Vince.
Yeah, it wasn't. This is not no truck setup. This is a very organized setup. All these cars run about the same speed. You have to really be innovative. As Evans looks to be the strong front runner here.
Talking about track history again. Oh, we got a caution on the track. I don't think they've taken it. So it looks like we've got a wreck.
Gonna race it back here.
Yeah, near the back of the field. I wanted to mention it really quickly. Jonny Gardner's history at this track: second place in 2017 and a win in 2018. And he looks strong today. But so far, Evans is holding off the whole field. Evans, the only driver with 2 super speedway wins in series history.
Looks like he's going to lead us back to the caution.
Caution flag is officially out, and it looks like it was a wreck into turn 1. There you see the skid marks. Matthew Logan, Alexander Rowe, 2 drivers locked into the playoffs with heavy damage. Their day's over. Jonathan Zorlin came in, not locked in, 47-point buffer. It may not be enough. James Shelley's involved. He's another guy who came in with a points buffer, a 41-point buffer. McCoy needed to win this race. That's not going to happen. That'll take him out of it. Sebastian Kukulon needed a win. He's got damage. Cole Deaver's got heavy damage. Dylan Young
Needed a win.
Quinton Moore, maybe Jessica Shelton. And it looks like the 83 was in it.
I think so. Yeah, that could be huge implications.
Actually, I don't see any damage. He might have made it through.
Footings are up ahead.
The car looks clean. Everyone's coming to pit road.
Oh, stack up a little bit.
Oh, there, Matthew Logan's in the way, so that's gonna separate the leaders a little bit.
That's going to leave the first pack. It doesn't matter the restart.
Oh, those guys are gonna get their positions. They'll jumble up probably, but they're gonna mostly keep their positions because of that. But first caution's out on the track, so we're gonna go take a look at what brought out the caution, and we'll be back for the race restart here on lap number 6. All right, trying to find out what brought out the first caution of the day, and 4 wide gone wrong. Vince, James Shelley, Cole Deaver are gonna hook it down at the start-finish line.
There's a 97.
Zach Rogers, Dylan Young, nowhere to go. This pushes them down onto the apron. And then Shelley's just going to come right back up in the Young. Quinton Moore, Flickinger, nowhere to go. Zorlin, same thing.
There's Matthew Logan, Rowe,
Logan piling in. Kukulon, Nate Rogers. Did Nate Rogers get a piece of this? I think he missed it mostly. Him and Shelton got on the brakes pretty good.
Checked up on the brakes. There's Kukulon out the bottom. There comes Rowe.
And sliding down the track, and oh man, the flip counter is back. Alexander Rowe with a one little tumble.
We'll add that to the flip counter as
that was the wreck.
get on board.
Yeah, let's get some onboards. We're on board with Jonathan Zorlin. Oh, man. There's nothing he could do. On board with Alexander Rowe. Let's see what he saw. Oh, checked up, but just not on the brakes hard enough. One little roll. Finally on board with Nate Rogers. Some minor contact, but
Backed up, yeah.
not enough for any damage, and Nate gets through that pretty clean. Something happened to Alex Gray under caution. We're looking at the pit stop, in for fuel only. And Kukulon's coming in for his stall, and boom, pushes him right into the back of Quinton Moore.
Oh, and Oskin had damage. Big Shane.
And as a result, Alex Gray with heavy damage. We'll have to wait and see if he continues. We're getting ready to go back racing here at Armory Digital. We'll have 39 laps to go out of the race. Alexander Rowe, Wes McCoy, Matthew Logan, Jonathan Zorlin, James Shelley, Sebastian Kukulon, Cole Deaver, and Alex Gray. That'll take Gray out of the battle for the points championship. Something happened to him under the yellow, I believe. And then this also takes several other drivers out at having a shot on a win, including Cole Deaver, Sebastian Kukulon. Kukulon came in 10th in points.
Practically Dylan Young with the damage, too, who needed the second win.
This will take Wes McCoy out of things. And now we have 34 cars on the track. Ace Rogers is your leader. Looking at the points, Friesen and Sekuli are still on the track, so I don't think Evans can make it in anymore with a win. He came in 47 points out. He would need Sekuli and Friesen to finish 34th and 33rd, and he would have to go on and win this race. But that's the slim chance right there. But we're getting ready to go back racing. Quick top 10 rundown. Ace Rogers, Evans, Tringali, Gardner. Sekuli's actually in 5th right now. Shearer 6th. Turner, Onjack, William Flickinger, Jose Mills. It's top 10 as we're back green. And now we'll get to see what the draft is like when you restart single file.
There's Onjack underneath.
And Evans already getting pushed towards the front by teammate Jonny Gardner. As Nico Tringali going to go for the lead here off of turn 4. As they're starting to pack up at the front, but behind there's still a line of cars getting up the speed in the draft. As Tringali will lead the first lap back under green.
About a lap and a half, I would say, to get these cars fully winded up and ready to go back to full pace conditions from what I'm seeing.
It's Jose
That's
Mills.
Toledo.
And there's Jeff Toledo, 3 wins on the season.
Ace Rogers almost in the wall back there as Toledo takes the lead.
I think this will actually almost lock up. This should lock up Adam Flickinger into the top 30.
Austin Colano underneath.
As Dylan Young now would definitely need to win the race, but I think with his damage, yeah, he's fallen back. It's not gonna happen today for Dylan Young.
Colano Williams rubbing fenders. Watch out, might be a.
They're 4 wide at the front of the field again already. As Jose Mills leads. Andrew Rich, Logan York coming up on the bottom. York and Friesen teammates. Junior Motorsports here in the Cup Series. As Hendrick teammates right behind them. Markle and Ferranti. Trying to make the playoffs. These guys know what happened last night. Lucas Catano, he did not make the playoffs for the Jerky Pro Truck Series. He could be out of a ride down there in the Truck Series for Junior Motorsports. Ferranti, Markle, York, Friesen, they do not want to lose their Hendrick rides, whether on the main team or the Alliance team at the end of 2020. And the ones mostly in danger would be York, who's at the bottom of the points. Friesen coming in 30th. Ferranti comes in, I believe, 23rd, and Markle is a position ahead as Friesen and Ferranti were just rubbing doors.
They're sniffing a wreck right now. Is I believe the 6. That's Toledo, and somebody's making contact. 53.
Logan York will go for the race lead here on Jose Mills. Markle in third. Here comes Jonny Gardner. He's shown a strong race car on the top. What's that car got on the bottom? And remember, defending race winner back from 2018 is Fitzwater and Fink get together a little bit there.
Fitzwater's been aggressive all day. Fink's been aggressive. Is there 5 wide almost? My goodness.
And I see a certain 83 car on the bottom. We were wondering if he had damage. It looks like he does not. He's in this main pack going for this lead.
Comes Nanico underneath York.
It's a 30 car pack at the front. Lap traffic includes Adam Flickinger, Quinton Moore, Ryan Brommer, and Dylan Young. That's not good news for Adam Flickinger with Jessica Shelton up here at the front of the field. If we have a repeat winner, Shelton would be in good hands to snatch that spot.
Got a long way to go for lap cars, but right now, it's
Priya McShane now at the front of the field.
There's Shelton coming out at the bottom with Rogers back there in the 83.
Shelton pushing her teammate Charles Sanford. Sanford without a win on the year. Sanford comes in. Sanford comes in tied with Shelton in the points. Sanford also 15 points behind Adam Flickinger. With Flickinger having damage, this really opens the door for the drivers below him in points to win and pass him in the points. Right now, Priya McShane, winner from the Dodge Motordrome, leads the field.
Think making contact back there.
Looking at our trends, the second wreck in the 2018 race came on lap 18. We're on lap 16.
To the lead, Rogers to the lead with Kev Shear behind, helping him.
Nate Rogers and Priya McShane fighting for the race lead. As Samet Oskin's at the back of the pack in 29th right now. Could Nate Rogers lead a lap here? It would really help his push to win the regular season title.
Kev Seth Cole, though, looking underneath.
Kev Shear, another one of those drivers out of range. Shear's lone career win coming from Pensacola a year ago. And Shear will steal the lap from Nate Rogers. As Rob Evans has made it back to the front on the bottom. Help from the 97 of Zach Rogers.
Log Motorsports showing their strength. Ferranti in the middle of 4 wide, I see. With Colano.
And then they are 4 wide, craziness racing. This spectator camera from the infield really showing you how crazy these drivers are racing here today. And look at those pack seats, man. They are here for a race.
Kev Shear. Again, another lap led, but he's on the outside now.
Evans most likely would not make the playoffs even with a win, but heck, another win on a super speedway would be a huge boost for this team on the season. As there will be several winners not making the playoffs this year. It tends to happen season to season with this format.
Will we get the wreck on lap 18 to 3 and 4? Because we're on that lap right now.
Thinking about the pit window too, that's about 5 laps away. As Peter Onjak, Jesse Turner going towards the front. Here comes Jeff Toledo once again.
Roush making a statement as Peter Onjak will take the lead here at lap 18.
And another driver out of range leads the lap.
Now, where are those lap cars? We talked about that in the truck race. We saw them coming with the head of steam. I think Dylan
they are closing in. It looks like Adam Flickinger is by himself. The other 3 have formed the pack. Lap times are 49.1s, 49.2s. Let's see how far those cars fall on the ticker. As Onjak continues to lead at the front of the field. Adam Flickinger just hit the line. He fell 3 seconds And the pack behind him falls 4 seconds. So they're going to catch 3 cars at once, Vince.
They're 4 wide already. This may not last till they go. Oh, 53-23 contact.
It's father and son, Andrew Rich, Keith Rich. Keith would have to win this race to make the playoffs. As Nico Tringali is now leading. Here comes Tyler Markle, Samet Oskin. We talked about it. Oskin must finish in the top 5 to lock up the regular season championship.
JGR at the bottom. It's Nanico, Mills, Toledo's down there for Roush. Everyone's coming.
And they continue the bunch up.
5 wide. There we go.
Oh, there it is, 5 wide. On lap 20, could this be another caution?
Mills is getting close with Kalan. Oh.
I don't know how they're keeping this thing straight, man. They are
man.
still 5 wide.
Mills, Evans, that's if we get it, this would be it right here.
They got it back down to 4, I think. They did it. They did it. They got it back to 4 wide. As Tyler Markle leads at the start-finish line. Look at all that cars go by, man. Dude, that is 30 cars under 2/3 of a second right there.
The blanket right there. Fitzwater's back. Here comes
Jonny Gardner to the lead.
Bree McShane.
The pit stops is going to jumble these guys all up. And I think they're going 5 wide again. Oh, they were just about, I thought. No, they're back to 4.
Florida with the edge of disaster.
Jonny Gardner to the lead. He won here 2 years ago. And there's that 3-car damage car pack.
They're coming. They're going to get on the Young and those guys in a heartbeat. Here comes Jose Mills with Sanford.
How fast are those guys going? They're only going about $1.75.
Should get to them in 3 and 4s. They're 4 wide again with Nanico rubbing doors with Fink.
This is going to be right at the window of pit stops, too. This could break up the pack before they hit pit road.
They won't get him in 3 and 4. It's going to be on the front stretch.
Gardner continues to lead. About a car length to LJ Toledo. These Evan Gardner Motorsports cars showing strength today. William Flickinger is going to bounce to pit road, and that'll break up the field right there.
I think that's a good move. Now we're going to have a real break up here with these guys.
That'll break the pack in half like a Kit Kat bar. And Gardner will be the first one to tackle this 3-car damaged pack. And he'll get under Young, but Brommer's going to be there. And now he'll move low. And those 3 cars, Vince, they are pretty much just stuck themselves.
They're just pretty much like a wind sail back there. They can't do nothing. Now who pits? The chess match is on now.
Everyone will have to pit again. They can't make it from here. Jeff Toledo, is he coming? Gardner, I believe, is coming.
Yeah, they're coming in. Yeah, they've got their hands out the window.
So a lot of drivers will duck down. Roush teammates, Onjack and LJ Toledo will stay on track. So we're coming to the conclusion of lap 23. As Quinton Moore, Brommer, and Young continue to hold off the rest of the field, it's Mills, York, Keith Rich, and Fitzwater. The next 4 up. As the rest of the pack has spread out from drivers coming down the pit road, that's going to make pit stops diving into pit road a lot more interesting.
Jack Toledo looking to work together with Mills and Fitzwater, maybe to spark a little pack right there when they get back on.
LJ's going to go for the lead here. That might prevent Onjack from pitting. And LJ, Mills, they'll go down. Onjack will stay out. But others staying out as well. A lot more cars jump into pit road. Onjack will be left on his own.
We saw his teammate last night, Jesse Turn, the truck race technically. You know, he ran out of fuel, so we'll see.
We'll keep the overlay up as you see Onjack's speed drop. That's lack of draft. So they have not yet caught Adam Flickinger. I don't know where he is on the track. He might have already come to pit road.
Well, we still have some guys that have stayed out.
Logan York, Jesse Turner, Corey Williams, Samet Oskin, Markle, Ace Rogers. They're the last 7 to stay out. Gotta
come now.
And on lap 25, These final 7 will come to pit road.
That's 18, 19 laps they Stroud, James Shelley.
Everyone's going to have to pit again, but this will be huge because if this stays green, these 7 will be taking the least amount of fuel around 7, 8, 6 laps to go. And there's Adam Flickinger right there.
There he is.
As
I think they're going to get around him.
Ooh, LJ was kind of in the way of Rich and Gardner. Those 2 are going to go to the top. Look at these 2. These are 2 of the most winningest drivers in series history. 18 wins between 2 drivers.
Is this our lead pack? Just those 2 and Toledo and the crew, I think?
I believe so. We'll have to see where they merge up. We'll have to see where they merge up with the main 7.
Here comes the 7 out of the...
That's Peter Onjak and Logan York. They're the first 2 coming out of pit road.
They're gonna be swallowed up here. They don't have enough speed.
Well, this pack is pretty long right now. It's pretty strung out. It's Gardner, Andrew Rich, LJ Toledo, the lap car of Adam Flickinger, Keith Rich in 4th, Fitzy 5th, Jeff Toledo 6th, William Flickinger 7th. Onjak will merge on track in 8th for now as Sekuli, Tringali, and McShane approach Logan York. And then the rest of the pack strung out behind. Here's Dylan Young, Quinton Moore, Ryan Brommer. They're still mostly together. Nate Rogers is going to need some help. Oskin's near the front. He's in the back.
Got about an 8-car pack at the front, though, for me. Oh, Toledo, there it is.
And one thing we talked about over the last week, Vince, was that the battle for 17th in the points, if it had ended at Island Rally, the battle would have been Nate Rogers 17th and then Jonny Gardner 18th, 90 points back, over a full race behind for the battle for best non-playoff driver. And what would it mean for Gardner to win this race? 6th in points, Kukulon wrecked out. And if Nate Rogers doesn't get the regular season title, he would be like over 100 points ahead for that. Right now, Subaru's at the front. Keith Rich, Andrew Rich.
Father's son. We got 2 Toledos, a father son.
Gardner's up here with teammate Zachary Fitzwater Sr. And then William Flickinger's just kind of here on his own.
Depends on where you can find him at this point, as these 7 are pretty much distanced themselves from the 84.
One thing Williams got going for him is that the 6 and the 19 are fellow Ford Fusion drivers. But other than that, it's a 7-car breakaway, as York, McShane, Sekuli, Onjak, and Tringali are the next pack up. As we're likely going to be going green flag to the end. As they battle for the race lead, we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more racing from Armory Digital. There's 20 laps to go in the regular season. We're back here at Armory Digital Super Speedway. 17 laps to go here at the start-finish line. And at this point, Vince, we're just waiting for either a caution or that final round of pit stops to begin around lap 39.
That's it. Or pretty much Brommer and that crew, or those final round pit stops, because these 7 have pulled away from Onjak and the rest.
And let's look at these guys a little bit more closer in terms of playoff implications. Now, the following drivers in this pack are out of range, and that's William Flickinger and LJ Toledo. They can win this race. It won't matter. They're not in range. They're not within enough points of Adam Flickinger to where it would matter. Keith Rich and Jonny Gardner winning this race would put them in the playoffs. Gardner is 6th in the points. Keith Rich is 19th. They come in ahead of Adam Flickinger. So that would officially slot Flickinger out. And then you've got Jeff Toledo looking for what would be win number 4. Andrew Rich would be win number 3 on the season. in a record-extending 11th career win. And then Fitzwater would be looking for a second win. So that's the story of the top 7. As looking at Shelley and Zorlin, Shelley came in 41 points to the good, Zorlin 47. But with Adam Flickinger having his incident, Flickinger's 31st. Shelton had a bad pit stop, so she's 30th. Right now, the highest she could get is 22nd. And that wouldn't be enough to put her 15 points above Flickinger. Shelton is also 41 behind Shelley and 47 behind Zorlin.
They're 3 wide back there in the third pack, but we'll stay at the front.
And looking at the packs once again, the second pack is Sekuli, York, Tringali, Onjak, and McShane. Out of those drivers, Onjak and York are out of range. Tringali would get in with a win. Sekuli would get in with a win. As Sekuli comes in, or actually, would Sekuli get in with a win? No, Sekuli came in 49 points behind Flickinger. I don't think he would be gaining enough to win this race. So scratch that, and then McShane would be getting win number 2. So there's that second pack, and then there's the third pack. The third pack is 13th to 21st. As Jonny Gardner takes the lead.
They're 4 wide almost.
Yeah, they're just about going 4 wide here in this little pack. But what a beautiful day here at Armory Digital Super Speedway, Vince. You know, all these colors really shine under the sun.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. It's been a good race. Look at these fans, man. All over the place.
We're on lap 36 of 48. It's officially 13 to go. And Dylan Young, wow.
Here they come.
Ryan Brommer's car, I thought, was out of range of Young and Quinton Moore, but perhaps Young and Moore getting side by side allowed Brommer to catch back up. So the 3-car pack could cut this pack in half, and if that happens, this pack could pounce.
Problem is now they've lost more time. They're almost 5 seconds back.
I actually want to look at lap times here. It's a 49.3 for the leader, Sekuli, of the second pack. As Gardner and these guys, they're kind of running a little slower here and there. We'll see what the difference is at the line. And this pack's running even faster. Those guys at the third pack, they're running the fastest times. Rich is going to go for the lead here. Let's see, 8th place, 4.75 to 4.98. And the third pack actually did lose 0.3 as well. So these guys at the front, the clean air, I don't know, maybe this is just so strong for them.
Or they could be catching a slight toe off the lappers,
perhaps.
too.
There might be a very slight toe right now.
These cars, remember, these Cup cars are very sensitive to the air. It doesn't take much to get the draft with these things compared to the trucks where they suck up easy.
Andrew Rich, Keith Rich, back 1-2.
But here we go, moment of truth.
And this is going to be right before the pit window once again, so this is going to be very big.
This is the last chance for Sekuli and those guys to...
Rich is going to go high. Keith Rich goes low. Gardner checks up a little bit. And it looks like Keith will get by easily. Andrew will get by as well. Jeff Toledo will make it by on the bottom. Gardner to the top. Oh, and Brommer's going to block Fitzwater. So it looks like everybody but Fitzwater will get by somewhat easily. And just in time for pit stops. Andrew Rich, Jeff Toledo, William Flickinger, the first 3 in. Second group does not pit. Zach Rogers will come down. And we'll see if those 3 get out organized, Vince, will help them more than these other drivers taking less fuel.
I think organization can play a role. Now, what does Gardner and Rich do at the front? Do they back up the trail brake, or what are we going to see here?
That's the big question. Second pack's about to catch those 3. It's just it's just Toledo and Fitzwater 1-2, as someone is at the door, and the dogs are going crazy. So I apologize. I apologize for that background noise. LJ Toledo Fitzwater down the pit road.
Is that Onjak staying out?
I think it was. York and Onjak stay on the track.
Okay. The bed's made for Onjak. Let's go at a couple more laps and less fuel.
Logan York got by Peter Onjak.
Interesting.
I'm not sure about you, Vince. How audible are those dogs to you?
They're okay. I can hear them a little bit.
So York with the big lead right now. It'll be 8 laps to go at the start-finish line.
Will York bring it in this time?
And he doesn't. He stays out.
Onjak
stays out too.
I think they're going to have to come in. I don't see them making it 9 to go. No, 8 to go. There's
Williams, Onjak, Colano, Turner. Those were the guys we saw the first time.
They would have to hold the brake engine.
And I believe Markle and Ace Rogers were the other two as well. You see them there a little further back.
Sanford's in.
Shelton and Oskin have stayed out too. So far, it looks like just 9 cars have stayed on the track. And York is getting drafted up to by Corey Williams. Was making sure he wasn't out of gas there.
Corey Williams probably going to go to the inside.
Williams will clear York. If York wants to pit here, he has the time.
There we go. Colano, Onjak are in.
Colano and Onjak will come to pit road.
I think those are the only two.
Ace Markle and the others stay out. So this final group, man, they're really stretching it. They're trying to take as little fuel as possible on their final pit stop.
I like the call. Now the problem is, what's the organization like of the guys who came in earlier? If it's more sturdier, I don't know how this is going to work.
And right at this point, a caution would be devastating to anybody who pit. But I don't think they're actually all those guys that pit are on lead lap. So a caution would
wouldn't be devastating.
Caution would hurt these guys more because they'd have to pit. We're coming to 6 to go.
I think this is it.
Here they come.
It's everyone coming. Oh, Markle may not be able to make it.
Markle's not going to be able to get down, and neither will Shelton. They were side by side.
New race leader, Markle, but
we'll bring up the overlay because these guys could be running out of fuel. And I think it's sputtering for Tyler Markle right there through 1 and 2.
Shelton might have lost it too.
No, so far Markle is still accelerating.
Is that Colano and Onjak with the lead right now, if we cycle this out?
I think so, yeah. Looking at the overlay. Nope. Actually, it's Oskin, I think. I'm not really sure.
I think it's got to recycle again. We'll have to give it another lap, as Markle's got to come in now.
Markle and Shelton are going to have a pretty big lead if they take as little fuel as possible.
See some packs up ahead now. Let's watch these guys as they cycle this back. There's Flickinger.
Well, there's Keith Rich. Here's the lead. Keith Rich, Andrew Rich,
Gardner, Toledo.
Jeff Toledo. There's Corey Williams and Logan York. They just came out of pit road. And it's a pack behind them. They're trying to get together. It's only a 4-car group at the front.
They're not going to have enough.
They're not gonna have enough. They were too far back to begin with. So this is the fight for the lead right now. You've got
with 4 to go.
You've got Andrew Rich, 5 to go.
5 to go. Sorry.
You've got Andrew Rich and Jeff Toledo, who could get another win on the season. Jeff, it would be his 4th. Andrew would be his 3rd. You've got Keith Rich, who needs a win to make it in, and Gardner, 2-time defending champion, needs a win to get it in. Or we could see these guys get drafted up too, as there is nobody in sight. I don't think Adam Flickinger will play a role. If he does, it would be on the last lap.
As of right now, we have to get the gap cycles. This is not the correct gap. I want to see how far back, because the most I've seen anyone make up today is about 1.5 seconds. That's a delta.
These guys run single file, Vince. It's going to be impossible to catch them. Now, here's an interesting thing to think about, too, Vince. The truck pack was a 4-truck pack, too, at the end. But those trucks suck up and push a lot differently. The Cup cars don't get as much of a push. So
Just as we say that, though.
Gardner's going to make this move, but if he doesn't have the help, he will go nowhere.
Toledo needs to get those boys in line behind. Otherwise, I don't think they're going to make up 2.5 seconds.
Jeff Toledo's staying in line with the Rich fam. Andrew will push Keith back down in front of Jonny Gardner. And Jeff Toledo is going to pick Jonny Gardner out of turn 4. It'll be 3 to go at the line.
Comes Toledo.
Gardner almost clears Andrew Rich as the dogs are going again at the finish. They love it.
Digital cheerleaders back there as we have
3 seconds back is Nico Tringali getting the push from Corey Williams. Tringali needs the win to make it in. But are they getting enough push? They're not in range yet of these 4.
They got to hope for the 78, but the 78.
Adam Flickinger, I think, is going to play a factor.
Just got into 3 and 4 now. They're just getting into 3. Yeah, this is going to be close. He might be there at the last lap.
What about the battle for the championship or regular season title? I think Austin's got it on lock. Nate Rogers is in 30th. Gardner goes for the lead. Rich will follow for 3rd.
2 to go at the line.
2-time defending champion Jonny Gardner. Rich falls back in line, though, with Keith.
Here comes Gardner. He's going to get help from Rich. Rich is not going to... He's not staying with his dad.
And the dogs, man. I can't believe it.
They made up some time. Williams in the second pack made some time up. They're only 2. They're close.
Gardner's going to get pushed past by Andrew Rich, but Jeff Toledo's pushing Keith Rich. Flickinger's going to be there.
Last lap, we're going to see Flickinger, I think.
It's going to come down to the line. It's two cars side by side. Could this pack catch? I don't know. They're side by side now.
Gotta hope for Flickinger now.
Gardner's going to get pushed past for the lead by Andrew Rich. But Adam Flickinger's going to play the factor because he doesn't want to get knocked out of this thing.
Adam Flickinger's going to block Gardner. If he blocks
Gardner... no, wait. Flickinger 31st. Shelton could finish high enough to pass Flickinger in the points anyway.
Here we go. They're 2 seconds back. This is going to be wild right here.
Jonny Gardner's got the lead. He's going to go high. He gets blocked.
No, he's going to get blocked. There goes Rick. There goes Toledo.
Andrew Rich. Andrew Rich slowed up too, though.
Here comes the second pack.
But they're in the way. And Jonny Gardner will watch his playoff hopes crumble from a lapped car.
Now to the line. Can Rich...
It's going to get extended. The record is going to be extended. 3rd win of the year. And 11th of his career. It's Andrew Rich at Armory Digital. So now it's going to matter where Jessica Shelton finished. And she comes home 17th. That's not enough unless she led a lap. That would only be 14 points. But Andrew Rich gets his 3rd win of the year and the 11th of his career.
Takes a victory lap.
Jonny Gardner, defending champion. The lap car just got in his way. And it's going to prevent Jonny Gardner from going for a title. I predicted a slump for Gardner at the beginning of the year, but I did not expect him to miss the playoffs.
The second pack was right there, man. Look at that. One more lap extra. We would have had a different result, I think.
One more lap, and Joshua Sakuli would have had the biggest run on the planet. Let's look at your full results here, and then we're going to look at the point standings. So there's your full finishing results. So me and Vince will be right back. We're going to take a look at the updated points, and we'll have your 16-driver playoff grid for you here in a moment. All right, guys, we're back. We're here in replay. I had to add the track to score 4. So Andrew Rich gets his 3rd win. Samet Oskin locks up the regular season championship. So Oskin with another 5 playoff points, and same for Andrew Rich. So the playoff grid is as follows. Andrew Rich and Jeff Toledo with 3 wins each. 2 wins, Alex Gray, Seth Cole, and Matthew Logan. And then with a win each are the following. Samet Oskin, Alex Gray, nope, not Alex Gray, sorry. Samet Oskin, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., Tyler Fink, Priya McShane, Alexander Rowe, Quentin Moore, Ace Rogers, Ryan Brommer, Jonathan Zorlin, James Shelley, and finally, the 16th man, yet again, by a point, Adam Flickinger over Jessica Shelton. Even if there was a tie, Adam would have got her by having one more top 10. So that is your 16-driver grid. Missing the playoffs. Notables, first off, those other 4 guys with wins. Jessica Shelton won the Daytona 500. Dylan Young winning his first career race back at Auto Club. We saw Rob Evans win at Talladega. And Wes McCoy winning at the Pensacola Road Course. Those 4 winners will miss out on the playoffs. But a couple of big names who didn't win any races so far, or haven't won any races so far this season, include Nate Rogers, 2nd in the points, 30 points behind Oskin at the end of the regular season. He'll have a 58-point gap over 2-time champ Jonny Gardner, who will be unable to defend his title. Nate Rogers officially 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s on the regular season. Jonny Gardner with 7 top 5s and 8 top 10s. And Adam Flickinger did what he had to do to stay in the playoffs, Vince. He held up the one guy, or the 2 guys that would have won. That's what he needed to do.
I did say that coming to the wire. I knew he was going to block Gardner because that's probably what the crew was saying. Block, block, block. And that was it.
Highest rookie that will miss the playoffs, 10th in points, Austin Colano with 4 top 5s and 9 top 10s. We saw Keith Rich there at the end. He climbed to 12th in the points. He will be falling, of course, as a lot of guys who won are below a lot of guys that are in the top 15, top 20. Kukulon, 2nd-year driver, won last year, not making the playoffs this year. Nico Tringali rises to 16th in the regular season points before the reformation. Tringali won 3 races and made the Final 4 a year ago. He will not be able to defend that this season. Looking down the points, more towards the drivers near the bottom, Cole Deaver, 35th in the points right now. Deaver's won multiple races both seasons of his career before this year and made the Final 4 in both. That will not happen in 2020. And yeah, that's about it for the notables. That's been me and Vince Freeze here today. Next weekend is All-Star Weekend. 9 Truck Series drivers got hot seat rides. We'll see who they're driving for next week. They'll have to race their way in through the showdown. The top 5 from the showdown will advance to the All-Star race. Winner of the All-Star race, if it is a playoff driver, will get 5 extra playoff points for the playoffs. If it's a non-playoff driver, that driver will receive 10 points towards their season total. So that'll be next week at Coca-Cola Super Speedway. And yeah, me and Vince are done here in Washington. So we'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.